before we make a blanket statement to that, well, this is why, because he married again, or because I know that he's intimate with someone else, maybe we can really look at the bigger picture and many of the different underlying causes that it could be. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's your coach, Coach Nyla, one of the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. This is not going to be an easy conversation to have, but I hear it a lot. And I don't know if it's just coming from people who just have this fear, or if this has really happened in people's lives. The topic is dealing with not wanting to be intimate with my husband anymore because he's married again, because he married someone else. Now, usually when I hear it from people that say they have that fear. They have a fear that I don't want to be intimate with my husband anymore. I don't want to connect with him anymore on that type of level because he's been with someone else, or because he's married to someone else. Because I know that, in order to be married or anything like that, or in marriage, intimacy is a thing. Sexual intimacy is a thing. And if it's not only me, then I don't want to be with him like that anymore. I don't feel comfortable being with him like that anymore. Now, if this actually has happened to you and you felt that way, like you actually have had this happen, make sure you put that below in the comments. As I said, usually when we get it, it's people that have that fear, as wives that have that fear, which is understandable when you have so much negativity being thrown at you in a society that states that polygyny is so taboo, or that your husband may not love you if he loves someone else, or these different things. That is not the case when it comes to marrying again, your husband practicing polygyny. However, it is a serious topic. It is serious feelings. I'm not going to pretend like it's not. And as a subsequent, second, incoming, junior, whatever you want to call it, as an incoming wife, people don't think that I don't have the reason to speak on such issues, because I possibly do not know how that feels about wanting or not wanting, or maybe having some type of feeling about being intimate with someone who's been intimate with someone else. My thing is, I mind my marriage. And I know so many other sisters and other women who do. And yes, it's easier said than done, but are we really allowing that to take so much space into our heads about what our husband is doing with someone else, with his other wife? Not just someone else, his other wife. Are we allowing those things to plague our psyche? Are we allowing those things to plague our lives? If we are, then what else are we doing with our lives? Are we involving ourselves in self-care? Are we making sure that the things that we love to do are a priority? Are we creating our identity? Are we building back up our identity that could have possibly been pushed to the side when we married in the first place? Pardon the interruption, but let me let you in on a little secret that wives, whether they are in monogamy or polygyny, as well as single women, have been using in order to create less drama and more fulfillment in their lives and their relationships. You want to hear it? Okay, they've decided to become part of my counseling and coaching programs. Okay, not everyone has decided to do that. However, I've been counseling and coaching women for years, and I've been helping them make strides in their relationships as far as communicating better, as far as minding their marriage and creating that life and marriage and relationship that they deserve and they desire. So if you want to add coaching and counseling to your personal development journey, make sure you check out CoachNyla.com, and I'll see you on the other side. Now, let's get back to this video. If we're not, then that could be some of the reasons why those things are constantly at the forefront of our mind. But let's get into some other issues. We did have a couple things to talk about. We actually had a couple of comments that were made about STIs. We had comments that were made about health checks and things like that. You should have health checks, period, regardless of if you are in polygyny or not. My co-wife did a great video on polygyny and sex, a raw discussion or a raw conversation. And she talked about being clean. Clean people are going to be clean. You don't have to be in polygyny to go to the doctor and get self-checks. I mean, there are things that women get on a regular, which is like pap smears and tests and things as far as my knowledge anyway. And that's how I was brought up, being consistently involved in my self-care and care of my health, because you want to be healthy. Period. So yes, I know that can be a concern when it's someone else in the mix, when your husband is with someone else and you're like, okay, well, I want to make sure that, I'm not opening myself up for any type of viruses, STIs, or any other type of things that can possibly harm me. That's where the conversations come to play, meaning that you have your conversation with your husband about what it is, what your concerns are. A lot of times when we are feeling not connected in an intimate way or a sexual way with our spouses, it comes from a lot of lack of communication. And correct me if I'm wrong, when you are thinking extra thoughts, it comes from having lack of clarity, having that lack of communication, being able to communicate with your spouse about these uncomfortable, because I really won't say it's a hard conversation, but it could be an uncomfortable conversation. But these uncomfortable conversations must be had so you can feel this closeness, this togetherness, this connection with your spouse. A lot of it does not just come from, he married again and he may be physically intimate with this other wife. A lot of it can be because the connection is lost. Our connection with each other is lost. Our communication is not there. I'm still having some trust issues or security issues that need to be resolved before I can feel comfortable and confident enough to be with you again. Maybe those are the things, the underlying issues. So before we make a blanket statement to that, this is why, because he married again, or because I know that he's intimate with someone else, maybe we can really look at the bigger picture and many of the different underlying causes that it could be. Sit down, have a discussion. And it's not going to be a one-time discussion because, of course, things that take time to blossom and grow and develop is going to take a journey. It's going to take multiple conversations. It's going to take, time to build a connection back again once it's been lost. But understand that if you both are willing to do the work, if you both are willing to create that connection or rebuild that connection or rekindle that connection, then it will come. No pun intended. However, not only that, but make sure that if this is something that's really plaguing you, that's really bothering you, focus more on your personal development, your self-care, and your communication style, because a lot of it can come from lack of clarity. And if it's something that's bothering you a whole lot more than just a surface level thing, and it's causing a lot of strife and issues within your marriage, then you have to sit down and have that hard conversation with your spouse. Have that strong discussion and figure out where you go from there. But remember, don't make a permanent decision on a temporary situation, and make sure you mind your marriage and build your relationships, your marriages, to the best you possibly can. Because we are not looking to just be average or okay or we are looking to be outstanding. So, inshallah, God willing, you got some great information from this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have made it this far to the video, congratulations. And make sure you put in the comments, building intimacy. Building intimacy. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. Make sure you visit us at outstandingpersonalrelationships.com/store for information on deep dive coaching, counseling, and our other relationship building programs. Once again, Coach Nyla, I'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Here are 3 ways outstanding personal relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships, and also Clubhouse under our names.
And make sure you go to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com and sign up for our email list. And there you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored.
Absolutely. And last but not least, when it comes to coaching or counseling, if you want to work with us one-on-one or in group settings, make sure you're on that website and reach out to us, because we do have very limited spots and we usually have a wait list. So with that being said, GLC.
Make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level every single day. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.